And they've been able to do it with defense. The 6th best defense in the country statistically with Fayok.
Will Lynch, Jack Oldman will face off to begin this one. And Will Lynch will pick up the GB first possession to Notre Dame. Face on is 14. Plays on the Notre Dame football team as well. Kavanagh gets to the middle, almost had his hands free enough. Face-on's hands are free, but Fayok is there.
There it is. Look at the top hand speed from Fayok.
In goal for the Irish, Thomas Ricciardelli. He had huge shoes to fill when you talk about coming into this year, but he's been with the program for a couple of years, so it was not a tough transition for him with Liam Enseman moving on to the PLL.
Top 10 in save percentage nationally.
And he gets tested right away by Marinier.
It's another example of a two-handed guy. McGee loves to go lefty, but shows you he can get to the middle of the field with his right hand.
Ricciardelli, no problem on that shot from Garrett Haas.
205 goalie.
Well, Coach Corrigan talked with us about that this week. Shoot at the net. Don't worry about the goalie. Angrick now trying to get his right hand free. Does, shoots and scores.
Shoot at the net. Get to the middle of the field. Low angles will get gobbled up by the big, tasty Caleb Fayok. But when you get to the middle of the field, you move his feet. And that's what you want to do. You see, Big Tasty has to kind of get adjusted to the middle of the field and stare down the shot. Angrick goes left, then right, and then sets his spot at the middle of the field. So he's staring down Fayok with an absolute hammer of a shot to the top corner.
In South Bend, and the irony, dripping with irony on that one, that a man named O'Leary was able to beat the Irish on their home turf. Marinier scores!
You want opportunities on the offensive end, you gotta muck it up. Sticks in the passing lane. You gotta sell out and give your shooters opportunity after opportunity. Bunch of junkyard dogs, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Johnny Cool keeps it in. And the sharpshooter, Alex Marinier. You give him that much time, it's automatic. It's May, it's Maryland. John Tillman has been there, done it.
Fayok.
Do you see how patient he is, too?
Saved by Ricciardelli. That's Luke Miller. Good look at 77 in blue. Scored a goal and an assist in their last game against Syracuse, getting some time. Shrugging off the defender, making Fayok make the save. That's his third of the day. Haas.
Look at the feet. Watch the feet on 2.
On the bigger Buckner. Hits the far corner.
Feet don't lie, Cotter. Stay patient with the dodge. Trust the pop in your lower body. He's so two-handed that you have to respect him going up left-hand goal line extended.
Let's get it up top to Angrick. Swing it to the far side of McLean, the veteran. Skips it, boost and kills, a wide open look. Fayok shuts the door and the quick outlet to Brown. Marinier shoots, couldn't get it through, blocked at the point of attack by Gallagher. Sheeran in the game, 10 in white, good pass inside, and it ends up being in the back of the net, Garrett Haas.
Buckeyes love it. This is what happens when you have an elite stretch shooter like Alex Marinier. It opens up the inside on the extra man. Teams have to press out to 5 in white because he hammers the ball. And then you overcompensate, and the backside is wide open. And Garrett Haas is Johnny on the spot with a brilliant pass by Griffin Turner. Those are back-breaking type passes, the through pass to the backside. If you connect, you're on the doorstep for a one-on-one. And that 1-2 punch between both Kavanaghs, that took the pressure off the Middies. Now they need to assert themselves. There's Van Buren. That's why it's such a tough matchup for Chris Kavanagh.
And Greg Langermeyer, one of the captains from Ohio, is able to pick up the GB, but then he gives it right back. Face-on tracks him down. Flag comes out. Face-on still keeps possession. to be a delayed call against Ohio State. Kavanagh wants to take advantage. He immediately flies through the air. All kinds of contact in the crease. They were absolutely deadly these last couple of years, and this year, what,
that's what I'm saying. 31%. It's not great, but it's not horrible. But compared to years past, where they were historically great, around 70%.
Watch out for Ricciardelli. Jeffrey Ricciardelli, brother of the goaltender for the Irish. He's a specialist. There he is. That's exactly what he does on the doorstep. They always seem to find zero and blue. That's his 6th man-up goal on the season.
Way to nail it, Connor. You're seeing it. Chris Kavanagh, the distributor here, gets the defense thinking with that prior ball reversal before this pass. What I love about Ricciardelli too, sometimes he hangs out on the low left side outside the crease. Sometimes he's in the middle. They move him with the ball.
Harris uses a pick to get on the shorty. Inside, beautiful ball movement, finished by Jake Taylor.
Can't leave him open. Recently drafted in the PLL by the Philadelphia Water Dogs. Denver native gets scooped up by the legendary coach Bill Tierney. Coached the Pioneers to a national championship in 2015. He's the last guy you want to give that much room to. Connor, he's automatic from this spot. 7th nationally at shooting percentage at 48%.
From Denver, Colorado, grew up playing outdoor and indoor lacrosse. Lynch picks up the GB, gets it back to Ricciardelli.
So they get the short stick here as a midfielder, and they give him the green light.
Up top to McLean, gets underneath his defender. Jump shot, but Fyock stops him. He's helped Ohio State win a couple of rock fight games. You think about like 7-5. Oh, what a save by Ricciardelli though, matching him on the far side. You would have expected more from 14, so you wonder whether he's run into a wall a little bit here as the calendar turns to May. Kavanagh thought he might let that one rip. Instead, he comes back up topside and beats Fyock.
Ouch! The spin does one of a couple things for Chris Kavanagh. Frees up his hands from Bobby Van Buren, but it's like a catapult shot out of a cannon with the velocity on that shot. Ricciardelli starts this offensive run. Look at that spin. It's shot location. He's owned May the last couple months. Don't bet against a Kavanagh.
It's interesting here. Can Kavanagh take advantage? In front, boosting kill, stopped by Fyock. Look at Kavanagh on the ride though in front, and McLean beats Fyock. Is that not quintessential Kavanagh? All 3 brothers have always played that well in the ride game, and Chris Kavanagh continues that legacy.
You're playing against the 6th best scoring defense nationally. The top goalie in the country. You got to find non-traditional ways to score goals outside of the settled 6-on-6. What does Notre Dame do as well as anyone during these huge moments in the month of May? It's ride. Get after the defense when they're trying to clear. And look at the shot location. This is a great finish by McLean, who not only fakes high and shoots low, but he takes the head of his stick and puts it across his face. And his ability to create from back there and win a matchup, but also distribute as a passer. He's the best passer on the team.
Here's White out of the box to O'Leary on the far side. Donovan will check him on the run here, shooting right into the stick of Ricciardelli. Pick hits the outside of the cage, but Kavanagh gets it back.
They're really good in the pick game, and they're able to free Kavanagh up.
Oh, what a move, and 5-hole. Ben Ramsey goes 5-hole on Big Tasty. 5 in a row now for the Irish.
This is the cat and mouse sub or not to sub game. Ben Ramsey, the short stick defensive midfielder, typically doesn't stay on the offensive frame. But why does he do it this time? Because he has a freshman offensive midfielder in Liam White, trapped and caught. So Notre Dame feels more confident in Ramsey's offensive skill and his overall ability to get a shot off than sub him out.
Under 10 to shoot for Fisher Finley. McLean finding Kavanagh inside. You're going to have to explain this, Clark, because I don't know how he found 50.
Do you remember draft night on Tuesday? I said this was a steal in the PLL. Chris Kavanagh sliding to the second round because of his ability to play with the ball, but also without it. Watch how crafty he is. Once he sees Van Buren ball watching, just goes behind his back right there. He sees the back of the helmet of Van Buren, and it's go time. And credit McLean, who was an ex-attackman when he was at Brown before he transferred to Notre Dame.
Looks like Ohio State's going here. Haas. Back to Turner. Up top, Marinier. He scores! Had to have it, and they got it.
Who needs a timeout? Nick Myers is saying, why use a timeout? Trust your personnel. The timeout would allow you to scheme something up, but also allow Notre Dame maybe to counter defensively. But this is the staple of Ohio State in 2025. Quick wrist passing by Garrett House. And absolute flamethrowers by Alex Marinier. This is the giddy up I was talking about. Able to get some separation from Sean Light, who's one of the top defenders in the country.
McKenna skips it. Marinier scores from way outside. The hat trick for Marinier. How did Richard Delly just not see that?
Big desperation, right? With 2 seconds left on the shot clock. If anyone's going to shoot the ball from that range behind the restraining box, gets his third of the afternoon, unless I don't see something where Richie Urdelli was screened, he's got to make that stop. Marinier known to go top shelf.
Harris. He's quick. Taylor. Oh! Yes, it goes in! I don't even know how to describe that shot.
Don't try to.
Double with a hint of a twister. Far pipe.
When he first catches his ball, Connor, I'm like, he's got to shoot this. Get rid of it. But it's Jake Taylor. We've seen this before. Wilma Harris with the initial dodge using some speed. You see how Taylor flashes out. That's just flat out nasty. What I love so much about this goal is how he finds the space and then counters with the unthinkable, the roll into a backhand twister. What in the world is that?
That time Angrick inside, he couldn't handle the pass. They're moving personnel around. Normally that's 13, Taylor inside. This time it was Angrick. Here comes McLean. Fyock gets the better of him. Look at the battle for the loose ball. Kavanagh tries to goose it to a teammate. Angrick scores! How did that happen goals are we going to have today?
It's called effort, it's called grit, and it's never giving up on a play. And this is what Chris Kavanagh does. Fyock makes the initial save here on McLean. Goes out of the cage to play it, and then Kavanagh jumps him, and when the ball's on the ground, he gooses it out. This is incredible. Sells out, and then that little goose just gets the ball right into Angrick's stick. Flicking the ball upfield, and it happens to be an Angrick's stick.
And a heck of a play by Angrick just to pick up that GB. Fyock, he took that one right against the chest plate, it looked. That did not feel good. He is not in a good way. We'll keep an eye on Fyock, but meanwhile, on the offensive end, his Buckeye teammates got to find a way to dent the net. Saved by Richard Deli. Miller doesn't want to wait for the call. Fyock makes the save. Picked up, shot wide.
He's not going to be thrilled.
He'd be less thrilled than he even is now. He'll take it to another level. McKenna here, trying to use that physical nature. White too far out. Now shoots. Man, Richard Deli's been outstanding. He gives this one up though, right in front. Haas in an unsettled situation. Oh, throws it away.
I don't know who he's passing to there. That ball might stay in.
It does. Marnier tracks it down. He's got to stay on that side of the field, though. Can he save it to a teammate? No. Picked up by Schwitzenberg. He gets it ahead to Taylor. This is a dangerous situation here. Taylor in the middle of the field. That's easy money.
Marnier is so concerned with the over and back and trying to keep the ball in play for Ohio State in the offensive set. So he chucks the ball. In desperation, Notre Dame flashes out and gets that rock. And it's go time. The champs of 2023 and 2024 look like they are going to be a thorn in anyone's side. Jake Taylor is at it again.
They continue their run here this year. Speaking of runs, Lynch is having a heck of a run. He shoots, Fyock stops him. Donnery trying to set a pick for Mayer. Donovan, outstanding defense. Richard Deli now in a little trouble in the corner. Gets it back to Donovan. Can't find it though.
Yeah, I was with holding.
Kavanagh, watch out. Here's Taylor. Pass inside. Boost and kill. There's an assist from Taylor. Clark, before he had those 8 goals in his first start, the only Jake Taylor anybody ever knew was the catcher from Major League. We learned very quickly that this Jake Taylor from Denver, Colorado was going to be a problem for Notre Dame opponents for years to come.
We were talking about his passing. Just doesn't get the opportunity a ton. That is a beauty of a dime right there to Max Busenkill. Starts with Kavanagh getting the Ohio State defense to rotate. And this time, we talk about deception. There's deception not only in his shooting, but his passing.
Lynch has won 15 of 19 faceoffs today.
That's been the games. Because this is a Buckeye defense that is full of superstars, but they're just playing way too much.
Fyock makes the save, the bouncer from face-on. Matthews on the run. White back to the middle of the field. He's got Ramsey on him, but he gets free. Richard Deli.
You know, they have a pole on the wing. Will Lynch is winning this to himself every time. If you put a pole right there and you disrupt him, you give yourself a 50-50 chance. You're not winning it straight up.
Yep.
Like, make it very uncomfortable. If he's going to win it clean, like he's going to have to deal with Colin Brown in his hands.
That's another All-American play by Ben Ramsey on the trail check. Donovan looking for somebody in front. Finds him. Scores! It's Reinhardt. Ramsey with the beautiful defensive play on the other end. Then he and his short stick D-mini teammate Reinhardt and the long pole Donovan combined for the goal. That's something.
ND is cooking right now. End-to-end action. When they won championships in 2023 and 2024 back-to-back, Will Donovan was one of their best players in transition, making plays like this, and then the payoff is the freshman short stick defender, Chris Reinhardt, who was an offensive player in high school. He gets switched to the short stick spot as a defender this year, but you see his awareness. Cullen Brown, he logged crazy mileage in those 2 games. He's got the ball right now.
Loses a glove.
23,000 yards, over 13 miles logged in those 2 games.
Fyock makes the save, point blank.
But this is the 2-time defending champs, and this is what you're rewarded with.
Maheris. Saved by Fayok. Matthews uses that pick, gets it to Marinier. He shoots and scores with a twister. 50th on the season for Marinier.
He's a phenomenal story. Box lacrosse background with a short stick and a score. In field lacrosse growing up in Canada. Played with a pole. Came to Ohio State as a defender. Played defense his first 2 years. And Alex Marinier has become a lethal scorer. And then find possessions elsewhere in the full field. On the rides, the 50-50 ground balls. So this 6-goal gap right now is big. It's bigger than 6. Let's see how they play 5 and white. This will dictate if there's an inside seam because of the pressure on him or if he gets time and room with his feet.
Sheehan skips it to Mayer, tough angle. Hey, how about Richard Deli? Miller. Kavanagh. That time Fayok with the save. Gonna get an interference call here. Matthews. Behind the Sheehan. Buckeyes got to strike quickly here. Marinier bounces it. No problem for Richard Deli.
2023. They've got some explosive offensive players. Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year and Matt Trainer.
Sheehan,
first round draft pick.
Yeah.
Virginia beat them, and then there was that controversial
whether it was a goal or not.
no goal.
Yes.
They called it a goal
Right, good
for
point.
Virginia.
Angra, good spin move to the middle. The pass, face on, scores. You and I did a game earlier this year, Clark, and Notre Dame was struggling, but then they had a run, and you said when they figure it out, man, did they figure it out, and they figured it out here today in Columbus.
When they're at their best, you know and feel they can compete and beat anyone. It's all about balanced scoring. Multiple players coming to the party. Jordan Faison's the latest to hit the back of the net. It's all Irish in Columbus. Fayok was the least of Ohio State's problems today. He went an entire season never going under 50%. And today that was the case as well.
Flags down. Maheris gets mugged. He's got an empty net, though. Shows not to try and force the shot, but
masterful at the longer possessions. Coach Corrigan told us earlier in the week we can't be trading a longer Ohio State possession for a shorter 20 to 25. Wow.
Paint that corner, Cav, and that puts a button on it.
Survive and advance. Kavanagh and the Irish did more than just survive. They dominated on the road. Killing some clock, boost and kill. Kavanagh, time and room, and as Notre Dame alum Eamon McEnany always used to say, bullseye. But next week in Annapolis, they're getting a team that knows how to compete in these big spots too, in Penn State, who's no stranger to championship weekend.
Wow, Behrman from deep.
Behrman, it's a laser. So much for killing the clock. Some salt to the wound. Brock Behrman, Luke Miller, two young guys who've played some spot duty this season when Taylor and Kavanagh exhaust their eligibility this month. They will be mainstays for the next couple years in the Notre Dame offensive attack spot. He just launches this from deep.
One final save for Richard Deli. It's been his night today.